Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to my book review. Today I'm going to show you a few more books from this series of Knowledge Encyclopedia DK books, and the one that I have already reviewed is the Plants and Fungi. I believe I first bought this book for myself, so it was just published last year, it's fairly new. And then I realized we already had the Space Encyclopedia in my son's bedroom that we bought in a bookshop. And then later I have ordered this book, I think as a Christmas present from my parents for Mason, the science book. DK has been super kind and sent me 2 more books, so I can show you 5 books, but there are more in the series which I'll show you in a minute. So we have got knowledge, animal, dinosaur, earth, history, human body, ocean, plants and fungi, science and space. There are beautifully separated into subjects, and depending what subject your child is currently into, you can then find the right book. I have picked the books that Mason is enjoying right now. So things like science, human body, he's fascinated and he has so many questions with how the muscles work, how the bones grow, etc. So there's the human body. Ocean kind of is a book a little bit for myself as well, because I love fish and I love just looking under the sea, and the life there is fascinating. And then of course science and space, also 2 subjects that he's super interested right now. So he's 8 and those are the subjects that he enjoys, and you can pick the right ones for the children that you're intending to buy it, either your own children or grandchildren, nieces, friends' children. So this book is already available to view in my book reviews playlist, so go ahead and have a look if you're interested. I'm going to give you kind of a more summarized look into those books because there is going to be 4 more. So here we have the Space Encyclopedia, the universe as you have never seen it before, and it's the one that I have is a reverse new edition and updated. So this is what it looks like on the side and then on the back. So it's they're all about the same thickness and they're nice and big, and it's going to of course focus on planets and things like that. Now this subject matter my husband is really interested in, and my son, but I literally get lost, so I would be the wrong person to explain anything about this subject matter, but I'll just show you the visuals. And we have been reading this book together. It's designed so beautifully that you can really, through visuals, explain it to children better, and I find that children learn so much better through pictures, and they are quite comprehensive, so you've got all the information. So this could be good for a variety of different ages. Obviously Mason is 8, but it could go up all to like young teenagers, and I don't see why not a teenager. I mean currently I don't think teenagers read anything other than being on their phone all the time, but back in the day when I had beautiful encyclopedia gifted when I was a child, I was fascinated even as a young adult, and still today I find these books incredibly interesting. But then again, I love knowledge and I do love to learn things. Next book I have here is the science. So that's going to talk about all different things. Oh, it's a silver paper inside. Things like life cycles, a bit of insects, phones. I mean, we have an iPhone dissected here, so that is super interesting, probably a good page for teenagers as well. We looked into this book and we have been reading certain things. Mason reads them as well. We've got also minerals and crystals formation here, the elements, the Mendeleev table. So yeah, and Mason likes to read certain small texts as well out of the book. So we just sit down and then finds a subject that he likes within that page, and then we read it together. And if he has any questions, then I tend to go a bit more deeper into it. And that's what it looks like, or what it would look like on your bookshelf. And that's the back of it. Ocean. Now these two books DK kindly sent to me for review. The other three we purchased ourselves, and this one is Our Watery World as You Have Never Seen It Before. Oh yeah, it says basically the same thing, as you've never seen it before, on every book according to the subject. So we have got on the side and the back. So this one must be one of the older books, and I haven't looked into the publishing dates, but this looks like it's first published in 2020, so a few years ago, not too long ago. And I think this is a fairly new encyclopedia series that DK did. And then we have, again, all the explanations about cyclones, the water, how it moves, how it creates these kind of twirls, and all the life in the water. Some of the pictures are computer generated, some of them are real. It's so realistic that even the computer generated pictures, you wouldn't be able to tell that they are, you know, looking too artificial. These days graphic design has just become amazing. I think this might be a real crab that then used digital design to add the cuttlefish and then explain what happens during that process. So you got loads and loads and loads to learn here. I love this type of books. Oh, we talked about erosion the other day. So in year 3 here in Britain, they do spelling tests. The spelling test that they do every week, he gets like 10 different words, and erosion was the other week, and I was trying to explain to him, and this book came in really handy to explain what an erosion is. Different crabs. Again, I could take also inspiration as an artist from this book or from any of those books, because you can look at patterns, you can look at texture, and you can just, you know, go to town with like an abstract painting just by looking at certain elements that occur in nature, like for example the color palette as well, all sorts of things. So there you go, ships and fishing. I love when they do these kind of cut out segments of the whatever it could be. So the first encyclopedia that I showed you and that there is a review of also has the same, but with like the under the ground, the life and the insects. And here with the ocean seabed, you can also have a good look and see that. So it's quite original. You get this entire chunk that they just show you what happens. And yeah, great for children's imagination, to develop their knowledge base, and just in general, so good for the brain. Okay, final, human body. Now, again, this is a subject that Mason finds incredibly interesting and fascinating at the moment, asking all sorts of questions about the muscle growth and how we hear, how we see, how everything works. And this is a fantastic book to guide him into, because yeah, I just don't have all the answers. So let's have a look. It's interesting because in the beginning, well, say beginning, but a couple of years ago, he'd find this quite yucky. But now he's fascinated. So all the muscles. Yeah, I mean, some of the stuff you might find a little bit gross, but I think it's important to learn certain things like the speech and the breathing, what happens to the lungs when you breathe in, breathe out. a lot of interesting things in here, and it literally just covers every element of the body. So that's the body book, and it's red on the side, and that's the back of it. So I hope you found all of these encyclopedias interesting. If I had to pick my favorite as an adult, I'd go with the ocean and the plants and fungi. This is where I truly am like fascinated about the entire thing. But you know, you end up learning together with your little ones something that you might have forgotten over the years about science and other things. So there you go. I will try to link all of the books down below for your convenience. And thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment, subscribe, and support the channel through those ways. And I will see you next time.